All right. I believe we are live. We're here with Sherri from Intuitive Wellness, myself. Hi, everybody. And I'm here with Jay from Spiritually Raw. I couldn't get Jay in April today, so we got Jay, but we love Jay.
Thank you. I'm always like second place. That's all good. I understand.
No. We love you. So I don't know if anyone... Jay, how do I tell if people are in the room?
There's a chat. If you go to your upper right-hand corner, if you're looking at it, there should be like it'll say chat.
Okay.
Banners. If you go chat, then you'll see there.
I see it. So right now there are 0 people.
Okay.
So
yeah, they'll come on board.
It takes people a little bit of time sometimes to be able to get into the room. Hold on a second.
Yeah, no worries. We've done this before too, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, I've done one live. I did pretty well. I think it was last week. So that was fun. That was my first time. I had a few mishaps. I couldn't tell if I was talking to anybody, but then we got through it. So anyways, how are you, Jay?
Hey, Sherri, it's good to have you on here. Thanks for having me on your show. It's very good to see you.
It's good to see you.
Yeah, thanks.
So what I wanted to talk about today, because I've been getting a mass influx of emails on this, and I don't know how you're feeling about it, Jay, but people feel like, well, first of all, they're super confused about 3D to 5D, and they keep asking me how they know if they're on which timeline they're on, right? I'm getting asked this question almost every single day. And so what I wanted to talk about today is one, giving people some identifiers so that they can pinpoint which timeline they're on based on, because a lot of it's twofold. It's your mind and what you're thinking, your mindset, and also your reality. So there's 2 things that we're going to be looking at to really determine which timeline you're in. So those people that are in the 3rd dimensional space, this matrix, there's a lot of people, unfortunately, Jay, that are still asleep, regardless of the December 21st event, which was and again, that's confusing a lot of people as well. So really all that was a vortex that opened up because we had enough people on the planet that were awake enough that were able to withstand a higher frequency. So we have individual frequency shifts, and then we have mass frequency shifts. Individual can happen at any time for everybody, could happen daily, could happen yearly. There is no rhyme or reason to it. It's your journey. And then we have mass awakenings where we have large quantities of people all over the world waking up at the same time. Their frequency is raising at the same time, rather. So we got to a point in humanity, which is really exciting, where enough people were at a higher consciousness, high enough frequency that this vortex actually opened up, which allowed the earth energy, the frequency, to raise a good amount, actually. And a lot of people felt it. There are people who didn't feel anything. There are people that felt something. There are people that felt a lot. And then there are people that were overwhelmed. So everybody reacted to it differently. For those people that are very much what I like to call anchored into the 3rd dimension, those friends and family that you have that are very much still asleep, still believing in the Biden campaign and still believe that they have to be first in line to get that corona vaccine, all of those people who have absolutely no idea what's actually happening. Those people likely didn't feel anything. If anything, they had an adverse reaction to the high frequency, meaning they got more angry. They were more frustrated about life. More bad things were happening to them, and it just perpetuated the vibration that they were in. And unfortunately, that's just what they are attracting. Whatever frequency you're in, you have a vibration that matches that. People get confused between the difference of vibration and frequency. So frequency is what frequency that you're what's your resonance at? The vibration is whatever that frequency has a vibration that matches it, and it's going to ripple out. And that is what the other people feel when they greet you. If they have a feeling when they're around you, they're feeling that ripple effect, that vibration you're giving off. And also that can attract the same vibration towards you. So if you're in that 3rd dimension and you're in a negative mindset and you're sending out that vibration, the universe will match that. It's almost like you're sending out an SOS to the universe. Hey, this is what I want. These are the types of people that I want in my life. This is the type of energy that I'm calling towards me. And then the universe will respond and send that same vibration back to you. That's why those people tend to have a lot of negative people in their life, or a lot of people that are still asleep.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Huh?
I totally agree with what you said. Yep.
Yeah, right. And so it's all about trying to identify, once you're awake, what vibration you're in. And that's really that's where it's all about. So third dimension, people who are still in the third dimension are angry. They wake up, eat, sleep, and live the news. CNN is their life. That's their life source. That's their news. So they're getting all their information from CNN. Those people, are angry and they hate the person in command right now. We're not allowed to say certain things, so I have to be careful about my words. And so they are perpetuating that. Perhaps that not much is happening in their life. They're struggling financially. They're just having a really difficult time, and they're surrounding themselves with those types of people. The people in the fifth dimension, they might be surrounded by that because it's inevitable. Your family members. Some people, I have countless spouses reaching out to me and saying, what do I do about my wife or my husband? They're still asleep. So you're not going to divorce your spouse. I hope not, or that's your own journey, but you can't get out of that situation. So how can you be in a fifth dimensional density, but be in a third dimensional space? That's happening to a lot of people. So they're bouncing back and forth. So it's all about your mindset and your reaction. So how are you reacting to those people that are still asleep? Are you angry with them? Do you get involved in arguments, try to convince them? Or do you have compassion and empathy for them and patience? And you're like, you know what? I tell people in that situation, just create boundaries. Don't talk to your husband or your wife about this right now. Just separate yourself from that. Talk about something that you guys are in agreement of. Don't argue with your friends and family. Create boundaries. So you're not getting involved in that third dimensional vibrational energy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it totally does. And I think it has to do with a lot of this being having it, Sherri, become a habit for people.
Yeah.
And so I noticed, look, we're all humans and we're going to have emotions, and we've come from one place and we're trying to evolve to another place, as far as how you're explaining it. And well said today, by the way. Thank you for that explanation, how you roll out. I believe that, we're just the triggers, if you would, to look at, because they're going to happen all the time, because we're still kind of getting a lot of that residual, if you would. Even for those of us who are looking and dedicated to doing whatever we can do to evolve, they're still going to get there. I think that if you get something that frustrates you, or a conversation that frustrates you, before you react to it like you normally would, just take a step back for a minute, you know what I mean, and breathe through it. And I think if you take time not to react to any situation right away, then I think you're going to find out that you'll have a different way of looking at it, which i.e. will end up turning into how you would want to look at it if you were in a 5D place. You know what I mean? So, and I can give you an example. I was talking to a very close family member this morning, and my initial reaction was to just get into it, just a let's go down this rabbit hole together, the usual, whatever, just frustrating conversation. I mean, there's love there, but it'll get a little frustrating conversation. I just decided consciously not to have that conversation at that moment. I said, you know what? I'm not going to have that conversation at that moment, because I know what's going to happen. So let me walk away from it and see if I can just get guidance on how to handle it. So what I did is I surrendered my spirit, in essence, if you would, to whatever guidance can come through. So then I had that conversation after I felt like I did that. And it was a much different conversation than I would have had a couple of hours ago. And it was a much better conversation. And everybody was, it just felt a lot better. Nobody was stressed out about it. That's it. Because that's going to happen. But I think the biggest thing is not to react to people so quickly, and know that they're there, and just try to just take a step in, because we're all going through this new phase right now. You know what I mean? Or like you said, a vortex has opened up, so things are just much more clearer, and energies are just more intense right now.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, I always tell people, when you're in a low vibration, you're having an argument with someone. When you're in a higher vibration, it's a conversation. And that's really where it's at. It's pretty black and white. If you're in a low vibration, your conversation is going to turn into an argument. There are walls that people put up, and they're not listening to what you're saying, and they're just getting angry, and you're perpetuating that vibration, making it more negative.
Right.
So when you're in a higher frequency of 5D, you have the ability to do that. You stop, you think about their point of view, and then you have this ability to say, you know what? I don't think I'm going to change their mind right now, so we're just not going to talk about this. I'm going to send compassion and love to them, and we're going to stop communicating like this. So people who are in 5D are they have a much more positive outlook. They don't watch the news. They get their sources elsewhere, perhaps through Jay and April's Spiritually Raw show. They are much more open-minded. They have a really much more positive outlook on what's happening right now, regardless of what they are, what's actually happening, in DC and all the other things that I'm not even sure what we're allowed to talk about. So I'm so careful. That I had this metaphor the other day that I explained in my video. It's almost like when you go to work and let's say I'm a big Lakers fan, or at least pre-Kobe anyways, because I'm from LA.
Okay. Yeah.
And let's say you go to work and you miss a game, you DVR it, right? So the game's already happened. The Lakers won, right? But you want to go back and you want to watch the game. So you watch that's the other team, whoever they're playing, they score, you score. It's back and forth. You already know the outcome. This is exactly what we're living right now. The people who are aware and in a higher frequency, who have faith and understanding, they know that the timeline that we're in, we've already won. The game's over. But right now, unfortunately, we're all just having to watch the game, but it's not in real time, but it's already happened. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does. It does make sense what you're saying there. And I think that a lot of that, Sherri, comes from the fact of, again, we're going to have to, and this is good to have these shows like this, is just retrain our disciplines, like anything else. We've got to, if something just happened on December 21st, whatever that may have been, I think it's up for interpretation to so many people, but if whatever happened there, if that opened up some sort of vortex, we're only on January 11th right now. So it's not even 30 days. So they say, I don't know what the science is behind it, but they say it takes something like 20 something days for something to become a habit. I don't know what that exact number is. So I think we're still in the point where we need to make these things a habit, and then our world will start to change accordingly. We won't react as quickly. We can take a look more instead of, hey, that person over there pointing the finger, we can take a look at them. Like, we can take a look at it as like, what's going on in their life that's making them act like that. So we can look at it very differently.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, everybody's waking up every day, every minute of every second. More people are waking up. And that's why people, like what I've said for years, people who have been awake for a while, what we're doing is we're holding the space for others. Literally energetically, we are holding the space, waiting for those to come and join us. And that time is coming very rapidly, so that people who are waking up, if you're that one pillar of light in your community and everybody else is asleep and people feel really alone right now, and they're emailing me saying, Sherri, I feel so alone. There's nobody I can talk to about this. What do I do? And I say, just hold on a little bit longer, because you are the light, you are the beacon in your area. And as soon as people start to wake up around you, they are going to flock to you like a moth to a flame, searching for guidance and understanding about what's going on. And that's going to happen. It's happening already, but it's going to happen very, very condensed. I don't know if that's happening to you.
Yeah, we were talking about on our show, Sherri, like some of the things we've been using to really get prepared and really try to adapt to this vortex. I like to call it a vortex at this point, is just a constant habit. And I haven't done this for years. And so I just started doing it a couple of months ago, is really, really being dedicated to meditating, really being dedicated. I hadn't done it for years. I know I should have, but I just never did. And the way I do it to make it easier for me, and I feel like I connect better this way, is I just do it when I wake up in the morning. I don't even get out of bed. I just lay there and I just connect and meditate, and I don't get in any lotus position or anything like that. I just get into bed. I don't what it is, if I sit like that, for some reason I don't connect. I don't get as connected if I'm just laying there in a very comfortable space. So for me, comfort is key. And to get there, and I stay there, and sometimes it could be 5 minutes. I feel like I've got what I needed. I feel the shift in energy right then and there. And sometimes I go longer, 30 minutes, or I'll go as long as I need to go until I feel that I got that shift. And I think people will know when they got that, almost like that feeling, that shift, and then things become clearer. So that I think is one habit that we always try to recommend to people to start taking on, right? As we've also started to take a look at the things that are available to us to help us with mind, body, spirit. So, we've been integrating, we take the CBD, Sherri, that we've been using too. And that's really helping a lot. And it's, from every part, again, from mind, body, and spirit. So I feel like during this process, because so many people are confused, So many people are really reaching out as far as like, hey, what do I do here? How do I help? I mean, there's people literally going crazy right now, right? And so, then it's just a matter of like, well, what do I do to get there? So I think you want to use all your resources you got. I think you want to meditate. If there's things that help you feel better, use those things that help you feel better. Like I said, we utilize the CBD. It's scrolling on your bottom there.
Yeah.
We utilize.
Let's talk about that for a second, Jay. Yeah. Because I actually, hold on, I have my stuff here. I used,
You want toast?
How do you
Cheers.
Like where, there you go. So I can't speak highly enough about the CBD melatonin.
Yeah.
Because part of my ascension symptoms, people call it the ascension flu, ascension symptoms, vibrational frequency shift symptoms, whatever you want to call it. People are experiencing physical side effects. Mm-hmm. So there's the emotional side effects of feeling perhaps depressed or uneasy, and then the physical side effects, head aches and things in the body and things like that, or inability to sleep very well. And for me, I have a lot of trouble sleeping recently, and I could sleep like 12 hours, no problem. I sleep like a cat, but for some reason I've been waking up and I have like this buzzing energy, and you know what that is? You're feeling the energy of the atmosphere, and it's buzzing through me, and I feel like I need to go run, but I don't want to because it's 2:30 in the morning and I just want to sleep. So I started taking, I was introduced to these products through Jay and April and Prime, and I'm really grateful for it because this has changed my life because I sleep better. And when in the morning, I don't feel groggy and I am able to be more focused. And it's the most incredible thing I've done. And I highly recommend it to anybody who's having a difficult time either getting asleep or staying asleep, because I think the combination, because I've taken melatonin before, the gummies, but for some reason, the CBD melatonin combination that they have has helped me to stay asleep. Because my problem is the melatonin would help me fall asleep, and then I'd wake up and I couldn't go back to sleep. So whatever this combination is, it's helped me stay asleep. So
I use the same thing. I use the same thing at night. I use the same thing at night. I use for me, I've been using something called Vitality. And I use that. I take that first thing in the morning, right? It's like a little gel cap. You take it and I'm kind of good to go. You know what I mean? It's like, and I was, I run, I'm doing physical workouts every single day, Sherri. And I don't feel, this is the first time in years I have not felt any of that stuff that goes along that anxiousness that just, you're like tight when you work out, or, the stuff that goes along with that. So it just helps level me out in a big way. So I really do appreciate that part of it. I take that, and then, then I take these droppers, just to kind of like throughout the day, that just keeps me like, I'm level. It's hard for me to I feel like it's hard for me to even get frustrated at things. You know what I mean? Like, even if I wanted to, I don't even feel like I have the desire to get frustrated at things or get there. And then boom, I wind down with that melatonin, like you were talking about. And, I'm out like a champ. And it's been a godsend for me. I feel like, I feel like we've been activated. Seriously. Yeah. I really do. I feel like I've been activated. I've always felt pretty high energy. I know you drink the coffee. Me personally, I'm not a coffee drinker, but I haven't been a while, so I haven't really got into coffee of it. But I tell you, I feel, man, my energy level, it just stays really, I'm on cruise control throughout the whole day. Yeah.
Well, seriously though, the coffee. So I had a conversation about with my husband actually last night. He's a huge CBD fan. I didn't have to convince him of any of this. He was like all for it. He's been telling me for years, right? But I'm a huge coffee drinker, like to the point where it was a problem for a while. I also am somewhat of a admittedly coffee snob, so I like the real expensive stuff, really strong. But, that comes along with a lot of side effects, and it's not good, all the stuff they put in it. And I knew that for years, but I still did it because I need energy, right, for what I do. And I was talking to my husband the other night, and I said, he's like, Sherri, you've been drinking that coffee for 2 weeks now. Really, like, honestly, nobody's listening. How do you really feel like it's helping you? And I said, you know what? I have done more, and no joke, because I was thinking about it in hindsight. Like, let me think about what I've done with my life. And I know that December 21st has helped, but I have done more in the last 2 weeks than I have done in probably 4 or 5 months. Yeah. I have been super motivated and I'm full of energy. I don't have crashes. I don't have, the side effects that coffee usually gives you after you drink a bunch, especially how much I drink. I feel energized and I feel focused. And I get on my computer and I've done, a super side note, fun announcement. I'm really excited because I just finished my virtual online program, at least
Good for you.
Intuitive development. So now all the people that have been writing me for years, do you offer your classes online? Now I can say I do. So you should check it out on my homepage at intuitivewellnesscenter.com. I do offer virtual learning now. So I put that together. I've been thinking about it. And suddenly I'm drinking coffee and getting better sleep. Bam. I got all this stuff done. And I'm like, it has helped. He's like, you're right, it has. So I can honestly say for me, and the coffee tastes really good. So I know you don't like coffee. And I think April, she had a great idea where she, I think she said she mixes it with some ice. And
she mixes it with some ice on there, and she loves it. Yeah.
Yeah. She makes like a frappuccino out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, I was talking to a friend of mine about it the other day, like if you take a look at like history, there were so many incredible artists that got their inspiration and applied things. And, they were doing psychedelics, they were doing, smoking pot, doing that, you know what I mean? But what happened, it was activated something in their mind there, but with a lot of the side effects. So I almost kind of feel it's like that same kind of feeling without the psychedelics, if you would, that come along with it. It activates such a, like you said, I am super focused. I mean, I can, I'm sitting there, I'm just boom. And I don't feel like I can, I don't feel like I'm, there's no high, there's no low, you know what I mean? I'm just in a great neutral cruise control place, and then when I'm done, I'm able to shut down pretty easy, and that's what I love about that. And I think that we all, especially during these times, we, maybe a lot of us need a little, listen, I don't care. I mean, I do. I mean, we all need sometimes we all need a little boost or something to just give us that little push or give us that clarity, and there's always searching. People use different things for, different purposes. I think that, I'm like you, April and I have been using CBD for years, and we always really believed a lot in it. I knew it would work. We just felt like we hadn't found the right one until we found that, that one really is just like something I've never experienced in my life. And I encourage everybody, we do with our audience to share. I encourage everybody just at least, take the opportunity to just check it out for yourself and see what it's all about. Read the science on it, read about what the different types of CBD, the formulas that have curcumin, the vitality, the melatonin, read about what they can do for you and how they may benefit your life,
Yeah. And they're great for pets too. I bought a bottle of the bacon flavored drops for my dogs. I have I call her old lady issues. She's 14, mixed breed. She's 50 pounds. So it's tough for her to walk around. And I bought some for her, but I also have a 10-month crazy Doberman puppy. Okay. This dog is a horse and he runs around the house and he's just insane. Yeah. And I bought them for both of them for different. That's a great thing. It's so versatile. You could use it for so many different things. So I'm giving it one dog for her old lady issues. And then I give it to the other dog to just chill. And it's incredible. Like I'm an RVT. My background is actually in nursing for animals. And so I wish I knew about this years ago, honestly, because it could have helped people. I tell you, it's we don't want to use your show. It's not like it's coming off as an infomercial here by any means, but I really truly feel like, we want to get on the top of a building and like at the bullhorn and be like, everybody needs to try this. You know what I mean? I mean, if the whole world were to take a dropper, like the Coke commercial, you'd like to make the world a better place. You know what I mean? This, kind of thing like that. There I go. Right there you go. But it would make the world a better place because people, because it does have those benefits for your mind. It does have those benefits for that thing. So, I think if people are feeling the blues, I think if people are just not feeling, the not so niceties in their body, listen, activate yourself. I think this is what it does for me. Activate your inner wisdom. That's where it's all about. And you can do that in so many different ways. That's where it's at right now. So many people are just like yearning, like what can I do? I have this massive awakening and within me, how do I channel it? And there's so many different ways to do that. Meditation is so powerful. Like you said, Jay, I highly recommend meditation. And, going back to that real quick, a lot of people really struggle with meditation. You know why? Because they put too much pressure on themselves. They feel like they need to be in that lotus position. They feel like they need to be like on the top of a mountain and like this beautiful thing. And it's not that way at all. Meditation is all it really means is that you are, it's a deeper level of relaxation. That's it. So you could be walking in a park. You could be laying in your bed in a comfortable position. You could be sitting on your couch. You could have your dog laying on your lap. I mean, meditation comes in so many different forms. It is not black and white. It's different for everybody. And you don't even have to have your eyes closed. So meditation is just about silencing the mind. Stop thinking about your bills and all the things that you need to do and all the worry and all the regret and all the anger you have for somebody else. Just let it go. Let it go for 10 minutes. I mean, you should let it go forever. Who cares? Why are you still mad at somebody from 10 years ago? All you're doing is connecting yourself energetically to that person. They've already moved on. They're already pissing other people off likely, and you are binding yourself to them.
That's so true. Yeah, release from that person's energy. I like the meditation part of it, like you were saying too. It doesn't have to be and that's the reason I didn't do it, because I always felt like, oh, man, I don't really want to sit there. I don't want to, feel like, what am I looking at? What do I need to focus on? And it's like, I don't focus on nothing. Like you said, I just get to a deeper level of relaxation and let the movie play out in my mind. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then eventually something gets cleared and it kind of keeps coming back. And then I know that when it keeps coming through my mind, then maybe that's something I need to start to, maybe that's some sort of guidance, some sort of inner wisdom message, whatever you want to call it from there.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, real quick, Tulsa, your question about what I give my dog. It's just the HempWorks CBD oil. They have bacon flavor for dogs.
That's the ones mine have, bacon flavor.
And they also have the dog treats too, if you want to give them throughout the day. It's a lower milligram. I think it was 2.5 or something. So I just wanted to answer her question real quick. The 500 milligram drops. Yeah. Rabbits, Warren. Yeah. You could pick your flavor. They have peppermint, lemon, lime, cinnamon, strawberry, guava, and they taste. Okay. So I'm going to tell you the reason I got turned off by CBD. Sorry, we keep going back to this, but there's so much to talk about. Because my husband, like I said, he's been using it for years and years, probably one of the first, to be honest. And I would try it because I had chronic back issues, and it tasted disgusting. Right. Honestly, like I would take it and I would like want to gag, and then it left the worst aftertaste. That even though I did think it helped, I was turned off from it because of that. And I think that has a lot to do with the fillers and things that they put in it.
Yep.
But this one doesn't do that. The coffee tastes amazing. The capsules don't have a weird aftertaste, like you're burping something up. And the oils don't taste bad either.
They don't. I use the peppermint myself. I like the peppermint, and the one I was using before always burnt my throat. Yeah. And and I want to share something else with you, Sherri. So like I got here, the one I use is like it's 500. It's a 500 milligram one. The ones I was taking before were 2,000 milligram, right? And I felt like I was taking too much. And, to try to get to some level of relief for myself. And I was taking a full dropper of the 2,000 twice a day. And I'm like, that's got to be a lot. You know what I mean? And so I just tried this one, and I'm able to just kind of balance out a half a dropper here. Maybe if I need another half dropper, kind of do it throughout. So it just does its thing. So it's a lot less I have to take. It doesn't burn my throat. It's better. My dogs do love it because with them, when I was giving them the other CBD, I had to let it soak. Then I had to mix it in some food and disguise it some way. This one is just pure bacon flavor. If I went to them and put a dropper in their mouth, they would take it. So,
my dog loves it when I pick up the bottle.
Yeah, they do too.
He's like, I want some more
bacon. So it's awesome there. Yeah, it is awesome. But I think that it's definitely been a big part of a lot of people are coming on with testimonials that it's a big part, just of really helping them open up their channels, get more connected, just mind, body, spirit. You know what I mean? So whatever you got to do.
I truly believe that the future in medicine is shifting altogether. I got this message like 5-6 years ago when I was doing sessions with people in my spirit guidance team. And they were telling me, Sherri, stop calling it alternative therapies. Because I would talk to people and be like, alternative energy healing or alternative this. And they said, stop using that vocabulary because we're going to shift and it's going to become primary. What we do, energy healing, alternative, holistic medication, natural medications, acupuncture, acupressure, all of that is going to become primary. I truly believe that. And that's where the future is at. So people people have to get on the future train. Otherwise, you're just going to be held back, because where we're at now in medicine is making us more sick.
Yeah,
Really,
we had a guy, Sherri, named Dr. Q. He's a pulmonologist,
I
and
saw him.
yeah, he's well, he left actually his practice and his career as a medical doctor to really focus in on helping people with, real medicine. You know what I mean? Medicine that really does help, real medicine that doesn't actually, cause you to get worse. And I asked him point blank, I'm like, are you saying that there's medicines that are not pharmaceutical that would give us the exact, if not better? He says, absolutely. He goes, there is. They're out there. He goes, we're just trained that way to tell that. So we're just trained to say, this is it. You know what I mean? So people are in that mindset of just, whatever the doctor says or whatever the pharmaceutical company says, or they put in your head, like, do you think you have this? Do you think you have this? So they start instilling all this stuff in your head, and you're like, oh, maybe I got that, and that. And then you start asking your doctor, it's just positioning you to take those things, which are incredibly toxic,
You see those infomercials with the side effects, they're like 25 things long, including death, seizure, paralyzation. I mean, literally, it's laughable when you're watching it, because you're like, this is a joke, right? But it's not. There's no money in vitamin D. There's no money in vitamin C. There's no money in zinc for them. So they have to sell us with the idea that we can't get better without these pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I want to also talk about a little bit, since we're talking about the alternative, but the theory behind CBD, how I understand it, is it actually activates what we already have in our system, right?
A lot of this natural stuff does.
Yeah, it's an activator. So that's why I want to use the term activation, because it's like something that's already there that can help our body really experience the level, really experience what the body's supposed to do. What our spirit's supposed to do. It activates something that went dormant. So it's almost like motor oil or something, I think.
No, absolutely. I mean, the higher frequency you get, the easier your body has the ability to heal itself.
Yep.
I mean, we're designed to be able to live as long as we want. These diseases didn't exist in the blueprint of us coming here. I truly believe within my heart, I had an epiphany years ago that I believe that almost 100% of the disease, well, actually 100% of the diseases that we have on Earth are by design, by the DS, that they had created that so that we would be crippled, not crippled literally, but crippled into the pharmaceutical medical industry and reliant on them. They created everything. Why do you think there's patents for everything that's been hidden from us?
Yeah.
All by design.
Yep. And imagine the feeling of not having to have your mind controlled by, oh my God, this must be wrong with me. This must be wrong with me. And watching that it's going to be let that prison in people's minds. You know what I mean? It's like there's ways to release that.
Yeah.
There's ways to release that prison that goes on in their head. So, listen, we all pray for the best and we wish for the best for everybody throughout this time. It's definitely a time. And, we always say in our show, just, try to stay connected, to everybody, you know what I mean? Messengers like yourself that are just so valuable that can just get out there and say, teach us, you've been on our show several times and it's always just an amazing. I want to thank you for that. It always teaches us a lot. Yeah, anytime. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I mean, it's all about spreading knowledge, right? But from a higher awareness for the good of others. Are you spreading information that's for the good of the highest good of humanity? Then you're in 5D or you're working up to it. If you're spreading knowledge that's going to hold people back, I never understood competition. I understood where people would hoard information. Why don't you want other people to know your secret? Isn't it better that we all know it so that we all can experience that together? That part that never made sense to me.
So true. And you find that there's not enough people. And I personally believe this. I personally believe that we are all connected to a source of spirit. So we're all really connected to each other at that level. And I think that if we can celebrate someone else's success, then it's going to help us evolve our own successes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you something real quick.
Yep.
In my book, Intuitive Transformation Evolution, I have a chapter and it's called Everyone Has Their Line. And I truly believe this because I had my grandmother who passed away came to me years ago and told me this. It was a lesson that I had that everybody is born with an energetic line of people behind them that they're meant to help. You could be 1 day old, you could be 10 days old, you could be 20, you could be 30. It doesn't matter. Anybody can help another person regardless of their age. It's all about the wisdom that you carry. So everybody, Sherri has a line of people. Jay has a line of people. Everybody in this chat, everybody has an energetic line of people that you are meant to help in some way. It could be very subtle and it can be quite profound throughout your life. And the longer your line is, the more you are here to do to help others and help humanity. But everybody has the ability and has a line of people waiting for you to help them.
Amen, sister.
Right?
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, and they're there, and we got to help you. We got to be each other's biggest fans. You know what I mean? And part of being each other's biggest fans is by changing mind, body, spirit, and doing whatever we got to do to get connected. And then it'll become natural. It'll start to become a habit. I always recommend, Sherri, to people right now, especially now, take your 30-day challenge for yourself. Try on these things like meditate for 30 days. Try your CBD for 30 days. Try the way you maybe the types of foods you eat for 30 days. Give yourself a 30-day challenge and just see what that looks like. You've come this far in your life, right? So what's 30 days to try on something? You know what I mean? Try on the way, maybe your thought process, and see how your life may be, a better experience for you. That's what I would say,
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. You don't have to be overwhelmed. Just choose a few things. One of the easiest ways to balance yourself, I'm going to tell you the secret to life. Okay. And it costs you nothing. Are you guys ready? Because this is one thing that you can do that will bring your vibration up immediately. And it's up to you what you do at that point, from that point. All you have to do to bring yourself out of the sympathetic mode that we are in way too often because of stress, fear, and the design of what we've been captivated in. If we want to go from sympathetic into parasympathetic mode, where we are at balance, where we're at peace, where we have the ability to have endorphins running through our body and not adrenaline and cortisol, all you have to do, it's so simple. You spend 2 minutes of your day, you do mindful breathing. It's simple, it's fast, it's free, and it's our body's natural mechanism to bring us back to balance. So all you have to do is take 2 minutes. You take a nice deep breath in, and your intention has to be, though, because your intention is powerful. Your intention has to be that through my breaths, my intention is to release all that no longer serves my highest good at this time. You hold your breath for just a couple seconds, and then you release, exhale with a good, nice exhale. You do that for 2 minutes. I can guarantee you, and I've literally put this challenge out, and no one to this day has not come back to me and said it didn't help them. It will physiologically, now you may not be aware of this part, but it'll physiologically lower your heart rate, lower your blood pressure, and your muscles will become less tense. They will relax, and the cortisol and adrenaline will stop flowing in your body. Endorphins, dopamine will be able to then be released, and you will feel lighter. You will feel clear. You will feel at balance, and you will just feel amazing. 2 minutes of that. Every time you exhale, just your intention is that you're releasing anything and everything that no longer serves me. I'm letting it go through my breath.
Good for you.
I guarantee you, everybody does that twice a day for 1 week. Your life will be changed.
Take the challenge, everybody. Take the challenge. Right. It's good time. So
if it doesn't work, feel free to email me, and I'll walk you through it, because you're not doing it right.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Right. So I wanted to also open it up to see if anybody had any questions in the chat. Jay, are you able to see the chat if you're not the one?
I can't see it from where I'm at. Let me just see.
I didn't know if you could see it or if it was just...
Oh, yeah, you know what? Now I can. I just flipped on a bottle here. Okay, hold on. I clicked on that thing here. Hold on a second. My family's in the dark.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really see a lot of questions here necessarily. Just kind of comments, which are great.
Susan says she loves you all. Hey, Sherri, hey, Jay. Hey, Red Pill. All right.
Red Pill?
Yeah, a lot of...
Tulsa Time did bring up a good point. She said she's a certified hypnotherapist. I'm a master hypnotherapist as well. And the way mainstream media hypnotizes us is very subtle. When we are watching TV or a movie or whatever, we go into a beta or an alpha relaxation mode. And that's an easy way for us to be manipulated and hypnotized through subtle repetition. So, you hear the same broadcast over and over, or you hear the same commercials. You're watching TV, you're not hungry, and suddenly you see all this food advertisements, and now you're ordering on some sort of Grubhub or something. You weren't even hungry. It's all programming, and it's all very subtle, because if you get yourself to that relaxed state just subtly, those two first subtle layers of relaxation, they're easily able to manipulate and hypnotize us.
Yeah, for sure. I think I want to just stress while we got people here, Sherri, on the chat too, is like the encourage them again to really pick a date and maybe pick today as your date to start off something. You know what I mean? Start off too, because I think that, like you were talking about, that vortex is open right now. So I think anything that you wanted or maybe that can really become a true reality for you, one way or the other. Meaning that you know what I mean. If you are energetically just someone that's always lashing out at people, you may maybe feel that experience even more. But if you are inherently someone that just really wants to generally help people and do that, just try these things on. You know what I mean? I think that's going to be. I'm excited to see what humanity looks like, to be honest with you, Sherri, in like the next couple of months. You know what I mean? How patterns change after all this drama goes through, you know what I mean? And how people's psyches change towards that and react to that during these very incredibly, strenuous times for many, you know what I mean? Mentally.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's, I mean, even though I don't watch the news, I get my news through the podcast and through certain people I trust on Twitter. And it's like an emotional roller coaster all day, when I'm checking in and I'm like, oh my God, what's happening now? And although I know and I have faith that things are going to be okay, in the now moment, because I'm human, I have a reaction to what's happening. And I'm just like, oh, can we just get there faster, faster, faster? And before we get off today, that's something that I can recommend to people. If you don't allow yourself to be drawn in and sucked into the fear vibration, because that's what they want. Remember, we just had a timeline, I believe anyways, okay? I could be wrong. This is my belief, that we had a timeline split around the 21st. Whether it was that day or not, I don't know. But we had a timeline split. We have a lower vibrational third dimensional timeline where that other person wins, and our humanity shifts in such a horrible way, and that's life as we know it. Or we have the positive timeline where we broke off, and that's where I believe that we are headed. And that's where we need to remain and have our faith in that timeline of positivity, of a new way of life in 5D. So you have, although you might see negative things on the TV, remember, it's just playing out. You have to focus and recognize the power of prayer is infinite. We have the ability. Each one of us is so powerful. And I think people, their power has been taken away from them from programming, but they don't trust that they individually have the power. So they say, why bother? It's just me. And that's so not the case, because each one of us taps into the collective consciousness of humanity through that golden cord that I talk about, that goes up from everyone's head up into the ether. And then it's like a think about it like what's it called? Like a spider web.
Yeah.
And we're all connected. So we all have the ability to access infinite knowledge through that web that we're connected to. So your prayer matters, because your prayer connects to the collective consciousness. So if you're thinking negatively, it's going to pull us to that the negative timeline. If you think positively and say, I'm wishing or I'm praying for the highest good, the timeline that's the highest good of humanity, you're pulling more people into that direction. And that's where we need to stay. So Amen. If you have moments of fear that bring you down, that's okay. It's fine. We're human. I have them. But then immediately I say to myself, I don't accept that. And I bring myself back to the positive timeline, back up to 5D.
There you go. That's why we love having you on our show too, Sherri. You're so got that great wisdom there for us. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Jay.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me on here. I appreciate your audience too. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, I think we've been on for a while, so I guess we can, unless people have, Jay, if you have to go, absolutely. I loved having you on the show. If you need to get going, I know you're a busy guy. I'm so grateful that you were even able to come on with me today.
Yeah, of course. I hope you got a lot out of it, Sherri, and I hope it was great to connect with you.
Tell everybody how they can get in contact with you, Jay.
Yeah, absolutely. So our website's there. So if they want to check out our videos that we put out there, we put a lot of exclusive content. They could check that out, Sherri, at spirituallyraw.live. And that's all uncensored. So we don't have to worry about censorship there. Okay. So people could check that out. We encourage them to go there. We got a lot of great guests on, such as yourself there. They can also check us out. If they have any questions regarding the guests that we have on there, they can go to askspirituallyraw@gmail.com. To ask any of the guest questions or even give us some guest recommendations there too. So that's good ways to reach out to us.
Yeah. And I highly recommend to anybody to spirituallyraw.live. You will not be disappointed. I'm telling you, every guest is just so informative. You guys have great content. I highly recommend. I'm sure everyone in this chat that knows you more than they know me. So I'm not preaching to the choir, but any of my audience that hasn't heard about them yet, I highly recommend you guys watch.
Thank you, Sherri. I appreciate that. We're doing what we can to help people get through this, and we're all in it together. We're stronger together. So and thank you again for having me on your show. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Have a good day, Jay. We'll talk soon. Okay.
See you later. Bye bye. Thanks.
Bye. All right, everybody. I just wanted to hang on just for a few more minutes to see if anybody had any questions. If not, that's okay, and we can end it for today. But I didn't know if anybody had any questions about any ascension symptoms that they may be having, or any advice I can give you on 3D to 5D fluctuations. Just recognize that a lot of you, it is possible for you to be bouncing back and forth. A lot of you could be in a 5/5 density, but trapped in a 3rd dimensional space, and that's okay. It's just the design of life right now, where you live, your family, your friends, your job. Try not to feel suffocated. Just in the moments that you have by yourself, do the breathing that I told you to bring your vibration right back up, and then try to create boundaries. Okay, so when you're in that 3rd dimensional space and you can't get out of it necessarily, you are protecting yourself by placing boundaries. You can ask for Archangel Michael or the universe to provide you with a golden bubble of protection. Like literally visualize yourself in a if you guys have seen The Wizard of Oz, I always reference that. I don't know why. I guess that shows you how old I am. But the good witch appears in like a orb type of thing. Visualize yourself going out into that 3rd dimensional space in the golden orb bubble like that, and you will be protected. Your vibration and your frequency will not be vulnerable or not fluctuate because of the environment that you're in. So you're protected and you're safe. So just recognize that you can bounce back and forth between the two, that it's all about your mindset and your thinking. If you can shift your thinking to be more positive, to release, to forgive, to let go. When you are angry, you're recognizing that you're angry and you get out of it sooner. You recognize the vibration of anger and you don't like it. It's not aligning with your resonance. Then you make a choice to get out. I believe everybody has the ability to control their emotions. That's what I talk about in my book. You absolutely can control how long you remain upset at somebody or angry. And you can even dictate how the intensity of your own pain, because usually pain is your body's way of trying to get your attention. If you listen to it, one, you can prevent a lot of diseases from getting out of control, but also you can, if you listen, you would be surprised what your body can tell you. Because remember, everything starts energetically and then manifests physically. You tried, okay, Christine, I have yet tried to ground myself and stay like that. I do feel super guided to do that and becoming more free. I mean, the more you ground yourself and connect yourself to earth, or ground yourself through breath, or ground yourself through meditation, any way you decide, there's lots of different ways to ground yourself. You will find yourself at a higher frequency more often, and it'll feel incredible. You're shaking a lot. Tulsa, you might have to give me more information as opposed to what, like, you're shaking. Are you shaking like your vibration? Like you can feel the vibration and you're finding yourself moving a lot? I need more information. Are they the caffeine shakes? I'm getting emotional hearing this 3D wants me so bad. I don't understand that question. How does one ask angels for guidance? What and how does... Okay, so Olivia, recognize that because you're connected to the collective consciousness, and that's not just through humanity, it's to God, to Christ consciousness, to the angels, everything, all that exists, whatever you believe in. So your connection to them, or your prayers, all you have to do is, it's in your intention. So how you ask is you close your eyes. You don't have to close your eyes, but I like to close my eyes when I do meditation or prayer and things, only because you're not distracted by your senses. Like, you're not distracted by something that you might see in your peripheral. So closing your eyes just helps you tune things out easier, and you can connect. And it's all about just talking to them as if you are literally having a conversation in your mind, and they guarantee 100% they hear it. But the problem where people get stuck or they have blockages is they are unsure and they don't believe it. And then they're creating their own blockages around themselves. and they don't believe that their prayer matters, or that they're being heard. And unfortunately, because of that, your vibration will drop down, and then you'll have a harder time connecting. You have to be at a higher frequency in order to connect to the divine or your higher self. It's not possible to connect in a fear vibration, anger vibration, desperation vibration. It's not possible. That's why I put my program together, the virtual learning that I'm going to be offering later today on my website. You guys should check it out. It's a really good deal. It's an intuitive development connecting to spirit course. And I teach you how to do that in more matter-of-fact ways to understand the importance of your vibration, your emotions, how to control all of that. So if you guys are truly looking to connect, you can try that and see if it's helpful for you. I'm going to offer it at a lower price right now, as I pilot it and see the entrance that people have. But it's all about raising your frequency. The higher your frequency is, the easier you'll be able to connect to your spirit team. And regardless of whether or not you can hear them, they can hear you. So you put it out there, they can hear you. I guarantee it. It's just whether or not you're able to receive anything back from them. Oh, TMJ. Gosh. So TMJ oftentimes has to do with energetic blockages. Okay, so we have energy flowing in and out of our energetic body into our physical body constantly through the chakra systems. The chakra systems are like bouncers that allow the energy to flow in and out. And things like lockjaw or TMJ, or really any ailments that cause tension, generally are due to an energy blockage in that area. So you likely you hold tension and energy in this area of your body energetically, and you need to have a clearing done. Like, you need to release that. It's easy to do on your own. If you like, anybody could do it. If you really believe that you could do it, you ask the universe to help clear, or you do mindful breathing 3-4 times a day with the intention of releasing that. And I believe you have the ability to heal yourself and release that energy. But if you have a hard time doing it, then you should reach out to someone that does energy healing so that they can help you release that blockage. Because sometimes people just need a little bit of help. I can help you with that, or you can reach out to somebody in your community. It doesn't have to be me. It could be anybody that works with energy. Tulsa. So shaking internal to external, that sounds to me, again, more like vibrational frequency shifts. You're feeling that. You are literally feeling the energy flowing in and out of your body. It can be unsettling and weird, but that's what you're feeling. You're feeling the vibrational, like the vibration, the energy. You're feeling the energy moving through your body. That could be a good thing too, because that shows you that your frequency is adjusting. So that's not always a bad thing, but I do believe CBD could help with a lot of these things. I'm not the type of person that likes to sell things, so I apologize if this seemed to be like an infomercial. I don't like to sell things. I don't like to convince people of anything either. And so I don't normally do these types of things where I recommend a product, but because it works so much for me and so many people I know, that's why I started recommending it. And I really, truly believe that CBD and these products are the future of medicine because they're natural. They were put on this earth for a reason to help us. And we really need to go back to that as opposed to using pharmaceuticals. Because anything man-made, your body has some sort of side effect reaction to it. Generally, if it comes from the earth, you don't. There are exceptions to that, and some people do. And the reason for that is that their body is sensitive to the energy that comes with it, or you've developed some sort of allergy to whatever it is that you're taking. And that has nothing to do with you. It actually has to do with the environment that you've grown up in and the chemicals that you have had in your body that your body's reacting to. So it's not the actual herb, it's the chemicals that have infiltrated your body and it reacts to that. Anyways, yeah, natural supplements. Okay, well, it looks like there aren't any other questions. So if you guys want to get a hold of me, you can email me. I think I did it correctly this time. intuitivewellnesscenter.com, Sherri at intuitivewellnesscenter.com. If you want to try the CBD products, don't take my word for it. Just go on the website, check out. There's so many different products. You can see the link on my screen below. Divinely Guided School just opened for children in my area. I just launched that. I have so many things going on. I just launched my virtual classes my courses. I just launched the Divinely Guided School, Metaphysical and Spiritual School for Children. Right now it's in Bethesda, Maryland, so anybody near me can go, but I will be offering online classes and virtual classes for those that have children outside of the area. Just I'm one person by myself, so I can't do too much at a time. So just bear with me. That's coming soon. Yeah, so if you want to get a hold of me, just reach out, and I'd be happy to help you guys and talk to you. So I think that's it for today. There are no other questions. So enjoy your day. Try to remain in the higher frequency as much as possible, and just learn to let things go that no longer serve you. And I guarantee your life will shift in a beautiful way. All right, guys. See you later.